Hi guys, and welcome to Katie's Insight, where I give my insight on all kinds of stuff, including current events, news, entertainment, business, finance, and right now what is most important for all of us, stimulus, because we're drowning and we need help. Government, hurry up. I can't even be nice. I don't know. I'm trying to even giggle my way through this, and it's just getting so annoying. But I was actually going to make 2 videos today. Me taking a day off is 2 videos, but then I saw some information. I was like, I want to get this out to you because, again, I think we have good signs. If you guys remember, I was talking in the last video, and I've been talking about this over the last couple days in these videos. When it comes to stimulus, I've been saying, look, okay, here's the situation. He keeps saying, even though he's sick, he keeps having people put things out about stimulus. Remember, a lot of what these people are putting out, this is calculated when it comes to the people around him and his staff. This is calculated. And as we know with Trump knows marketing, PR, and advertising. He has to as a real estate man, as a businessman. That's just part of what he does. And I believe we are seeing signs that Trump is ready to take the reins and give us emergency stimulus. He's been saying it for a while, but as you know, getting sick threw a wrench into everything. So where are we at with that? We're going to dive in and see, and let's take a look. But before we do, most of you know my situation. I just left my former channel of over 100,000 subscribers that I built up all by myself. My content, my research, my everything. But things happen in life, life happens, and you got to keep moving forward. And I'm the luckiest person in the world that I have so many people that went ahead and came over to my page. Thank you guys so much for doing so. I'm so beyond grateful to all of you. I'm just beyond grateful and humbled every single day. And I'm just blessed. And right now we're sitting at almost 8,500 subscribers. I'm like, can we get to 10,000 by the end of the week? That's insane. Like, you guys have been so good to me. You're wonderful. And if you guys want to continue to help me, because I'm not monetized right now. So if you'd like to help me get monetized, and I appreciate people wanting to donate, y'all are struggling too. And I'm not going to accept that. So I appreciate it though. Thank you. But here's what you can do if you want to help me continue to make these videos stay monetized and hopefully keep my assistant on board, because that is a scary prospect. But make sure and watch the videos from start until finish so I can get that watch time up to get monetized as well, guys. Please give me a big thumbs up. Every video you see, like the videos. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit notifications. The more people who hit notifications, the better the channel does. It helps with the algorithm. So make sure hit notifications. Leave a comment. Multiple comments are welcome on this channel because everything helps. And please share this content to get the word out there about me and my content. And hopefully people will come. I can get monetized and keep going for you guys. And I'm just so blessed to have y'all. I'm always saying it because it's always true. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look. First of all, very good news. You guys might have heard some of this, but we're going to elaborate more on this. Trump basically demanded to Congress, you need to get it done regarding stimulus. Awesome. I'm going to take a look at this. I have an article from CNBC that says, Trump puts pressure on Congress to pass a virus stimulus deal, telling lawmakers to work together and get it done. Trump's tweets about the pandemic relief comes as the president receives treatment for the virus at Walter Reed Medical Center. Update on that. The president is being released today at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. He will be released from Walter Reed to go back to the White House. Now, our understanding is he is still going to be in quarantine during this time. That doesn't necessarily change. However, he is going to be there, and hopefully he'll be getting better. Now, here's the scary part to give you guys a little more information on it. The scary part about this situation is that doesn't mean he's out of the woods yet. Because if you remember Boris Johnson, it was on day 8 of him being tested positive for the virus that he started to have issues. This is day 5, so we have to wait. But his doctors have said, which we'll go into detail tomorrow, his doctors have said as long as he can get through this next weekend, he should be okay. So this next week is critical for him. Fingers crossed for him, Melania, his family, and everybody on Capitol Hill that has gotten this virus, including Kayleigh McEnany. She has a baby at home. So our thoughts, our prayers are with all of you right now that are struggling around the country as well as around the world. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update there. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin are working toward striking a stimulus deal, but have said they still have disagreements. I have a video about that coming out. Make sure and check out that video because we have Nance talking more about what's going on there. So here we go. President Donald Trump pressured Congress to pass a virus stimulus plan Saturday as his administration and congressional Democrats struggle to forge a relief deal. In a tweet sent, the president receives treatment for the virus at Walter Reed Medical Center. As he receives that, the president wrote, "Our great USA wants and needs stimulus. Work together and get it done. Thank you, he said. Every time I hear him say something like thank you, I hear China. Thank you. I don't know why. Because you guys know how he says that word, China. There is like a video of like a minute of him just saying China, China, all these weird ways he says China somewhere on the internet from 2016, and every time I see it, I bust a gut. Like, you know how there are some things, no matter how many times you see it, it's just funny. That one's just funny. China! Sorry, I'm gonna continue. Okay, Trump's tweet plunges him more fully into the tug of war over the pandemic aid than he has been throughout weeks of talks between his advisors and Democratic leaders. Sorry, allergies. Republicans and Democrats have failed to inject new money into the U.S. economy and healthcare system for months as the GOP worries about runaway spending and Democrats pushing for sweeping relief package. An unexpected weak September jobs report, along with tens of thousands of newly announced layoffs and furloughs this week, have added to concerns the boost for previous rounds of stimulus is fading. Sustained pressure from the president could make some Republicans, particularly in the GOP-held Senate, more comfortable embracing a stimulus deal. On Friday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Trump's diagnosis kind of changes the dynamic of her talks with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, because Republicans will see this is a vicious virus. Writing to her caucus on Friday, the California Democrat wrote that she hoped the sides could strike a deal despite significant disagreement in key areas. She added that we continue to work on the text to move quickly to facilitate an agreement. Democrats passed a $2.2 trillion relief package on Thursday night, while the House has offered a $1.6 trillion bill. The sides have found common ground on policies including direct payments to Americans, small business loans, and aid to airlines to help cover payroll and prevent tens of thousands of furloughs. Topics of dispute include unemployment insurance. Democrats have proposed $600 per week in extra benefits, while the White House has supported $400 weekly, and relief for states and municipalities. Democrats have offered more than $400 billion, higher than the $250 billion proposed by the White House. The sides have also disagreed over the child tax credit, earned income tax credit, child care assistance funds, and money for virus testing and tracing. The Democratic-held House left for the month Friday, but could return to pass legislation if Pelosi and Mnuchin can craft an agreement. The full Senate will not convene until October 19th after 3 GOP senators, 2 of whom attended last week's White House event announcing the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court, tested positive for the virus. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell tweeted Saturday afternoon that he had talked to the president about several topics, including the Supreme Court and strengthening the economy. And this is what he said. He said, just had another great call with the President of the United States. He sounds well and says he's feeling good. We talked about the people's business, fighting the pandemic, confirming Judge Barrett, and strengthening the economy for the American families. Let's keep our President and First Lady in our prayers. The Republican-led Senate Judiciary Committee will still forge ahead with its hearing on Barrett's nomination set for October 12th. Now, that's more evidence, and to me, it's very exciting that we are seeing more and more proof that the president is stimulus-focused, right? But we have something else that I want to bring up, and this just came out hot off of the presses from 12:35, so this is like a couple hours ago. It says, Lindsey Graham, Trump called from the hospital to talk stimulus and the Supreme Court. Again, more stimulus talk being thrown out by the president. It says, President Trump on Monday called Senator Lindsey Graham from his virus hospital suite to discuss stimulus legislation and the Supreme Court nomination of Amy Coney Barrett, which a lot of people were wondering, what's going to happen with the Supreme Court nomination? Is this going to go forward? And it looks like it may. So it looks like he is really still focused on making sure and getting a Supreme Court justice in there as well as stimulus. Just spoke with the president, and he sounds terrific, very engaged and ready to get back to work, Graham wrote on Twitter. He's also very excited about Judge Amy Coney Barrett being confirmed to the Supreme Court and focused on a good deal to help stimulate the economy. Very exciting, guys. Trump checked himself into the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, on Friday after testing positive for the serious respiratory bug on Thursday. Graham is the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee and expects to begin holding hearings for Barrett next week. 2 Republican members of the committee, Senators Mike Lee of Utah and Tom Tillis of North Carolina, tested positive for the virus last week after attending Barrett's nomination event in the Rose Garden. The virus stimulus legislation has stalled for months, though Republicans and Democrats agree on many key issues, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Friday indicated that she's willing to begin passing standalone single-issue legislation. This I have not heard. It says that Speaker Pelosi Nancy Friday indicated she's willing to begin passing standalone single-issue legislation. I'm going to have to look more into that because the interview that I have coming up, it says the opposite from her, but who knows? Again, a lot of these people, they're just going to change with wherever the wind is, so who knows what's real, unfortunately, but that kind of piques my interest. After testing positive, Trump suffered fatigue, a fever, and reductions in blood oxygen content. But in weekend videos from the hospital, he said he was doing well. On Sunday, Trump rode past supporters near the hospital in an SUV and waved. The president was administered experimental polyclonal antibodies on Friday to help him fight the infection, and at the hospital has received the antiviral drug remdesivir and the steroid dexamethasone. Oh my gosh, I keep saying this wrong. Dexamethasone. Sorry, guys. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany on Monday became the latest close staffer to test positive for the virus. Senior advisor Hope Hicks, White House assistant Nick Luna, Trump campaign manager Bill Stepien, and Republican National Committee Chairwoman Ronna Romney McDaniel are among the aides who have contracted the virus as well. There's a few of them they've left out on here as well. I know, what is her name? Kellyanne Conway. Sorry, I couldn't think. Kellyanne Conway's also one, and we just keep hearing people are going down one by one there. So, of course, we're praying for them. Our hearts go out to all of those people, and I hope everybody on Capitol Hill and around the country gets better as quickly as possible. As around the world, our hearts and prayers are with you. Now, you might not think this is a big a deal to you, but why is this such a big deal to me? Because, as I've said repeatedly, Trump is a businessman. He knows PR, marketing, advertising. He knows all of these tricks to this type of stuff. And when it comes to this stuff, this is how it starts. He starts slowly having his people talk about and infiltrate things into the media. If you guys remember, before the executive actions were passed, that week, he had been teasing it the 2 weeks before, but especially that week before, first Stephen Moore, one of his closest economic advisors at the White House, put out an opinion piece at the Wall Street Journal saying Trump should do the payroll tax on his own. Here's why. And then next day you had somebody speak out, and then boom, Trump starts to speak out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Everybody said, nope, he can't do it. He's wrong. He's crazy. And I was one of the only channels talking about emergency stimulus being passed. And I was right. I nailed it on this, calling it emergency stimulus. They called it executive orders. So when I'm seeing over the last, since Friday, every day we hear somebody surrounding Trump say, he talks about stimulus, he's pushing for stimulus. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think it's calculated PR on his end because he is smart enough to know how to get this message out to them, to threaten them. If you remember, it was 3 weeks ago, he threatened the Congress and he said, if you don't pass the bill, if you don't get this done soon, I'm going to do it. Now, technically, I'm not allowed to. I really can't. But there's a theory I could do it. And guess what? There were theories with those executive actions, and he did them. And considering he just went to the hospital for a virus he has been claiming isn't that big a deal, and trying to reopen the economy and put kids back in schools, and really putting things out there that aren't really accurate or maybe not accurate about this virus, him getting sick and having to take a few days off, this is a big L for him right now. This is an L for him right before the election, and he's had mostly wins because he's smart. So I'll tell you what my prediction is. I think by the end of this week, especially next week, if the Congress doesn't get their you-know-what together, Trump will be sending us stimulus checks, because we also heard from Larry Kudlow on the 24th. This was last week. We heard Larry Kudlow, and he had said there's money to repurpose for Trump to be able to do stimulus. So we are still hearing, and that was a little bit older, but again, there's been the same rhetoric about Trump getting out there, Trump putting action in place, Trump doing something, and I think it would be perfect. It would be perfect for him to turn the optics around, to turn around the perception of how the American people are looking at him getting sick. And it's not that, I was about to say it's not that the American people are compassionate. Actually, I can argue that. The American people have been brainwashed to believe if you are sick, if you are disabled, if something is chronically wrong with you, you are just lazy. And I think it's wonderful that we're a hardworking, industrious people, but we have been programmed and conditioned to believe this in a way that is very detrimental for Americans who are suffering, and more people are suffering from chronic health issues, autoimmune issues, all different types of issues that go unchecked, unlooked at, and unnoticed by a lot of American people. And considering the amount of poison we have in our food and our water, thank you, Flint, Michigan, the amount of crap that our government allows to be in our bodies, in our systems, in our environment, I'm afraid it's just going to get worse before it gets better. So I was about to argue and say I think the American people are compassionate to him being sick. The American people are compassionate about health when they're told to be compassionate about health, in my opinion. Not all of them. I'm sure most of you watching have a head on your shoulders, and that's not you. I'm talking about the people who don't have a lot of depth of thought, who just go along with whatever the news tells them or whatever they're being told, which we all know it's a lot of people, unfortunately. We know how much the news lies to us. So, anyways, a little off topic, but my whole point is to say I think we have a very good shot at getting another executive order to get us stimulus checks. And honestly, if Trump did that right before the election, he's got it. He's got the election, y'all. I'm not saying that as a Trump supporter. I'm not saying that as somebody who's hates Trump. I don't like any of these people. They all lie. They're all narcissists and sociopaths to some extent, some worse than others. Some it comes out here, some it comes out there, some full-blown. I don't like these people, okay? I'm telling you that as somebody who isn't pro-Trump. When people like me, the silent majority, we look at what's going on, we assess, and we're like, at this point, we know Trump lies and exaggerates, but he looks like the better person in this situation. We're doomed. We're screwed. That's always what I want to impart on you guys and to take away is that this is how the middle of America looks at things. A lot of you want to think that the Midwest and the South is just a bunch of dumb, ignorant hicks, and yes, there are plenty of those there. But there's a growing silent majority like me who is just weighing information and using common sense. And they look at all this and they're like, Trump isn't perfect, but he's not nearly as evil as those people. And that's why he got elected the first time, and that's why he's going to get reelected again. In my opinion, not necessarily because I want it to happen. I don't think he should be in office. I think he doesn't even think he should be in office. But when he's doing a better job, the majority of the people before him, with apparently how evil he is, what does that say about our country? I just want to throw that out there. Okay, guys, if you like this video, please support me getting monetized and support this channel, and please give me a big thumbs up, like this video. And also what can really help is subscribe. And if you're subscribed, hit notifications. That notification bell is so important. I spent so much money, y'all, on the last channel giving out gift cards to build up the notification system. So until I can give out gift cards again, because I can't right now, if you could please make sure and hit the bell, I'd be so grateful. Thank you so much. Also, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about all this. The more comments, the better. It all helps me, the algorithm. And share this content with as many people as you can, because the more that you share, you get the word out, the more my channel grows, and I can get back in there to do what I love to do, which is get back to you guys. All right, guys, I'm going to end this video here now. This has been Katie, and thank you so much for listening to my insight on things. And until next time, I'm going to keep you informed. Take care, blessings. I have one more video coming, and then stay tuned for tomorrow. Okay, guys, take care.